takes me to the question I asked that if the BBI is not uniting President,
which is true,
Raila and Ruto.
Yeah.
So, and this is a question that I wanted to ask Daktari, that the government of Kenya today is led by President Uhuru Kenyatta
and Raila.
Deputized by
Actually, Raila is now the deputy president.
Deputized by it. Constitutionally, deputized by.
Yeah, but you know, we can also see that's cosmetic. When ukiona mtu ana drown, unasema ati is swimming. We can clearly see.
Let me explain.
No, you know, Kizito,
the president.
The other thing we like to do here at the taco, by the way, we want to be brutally honest.
Yes.
That's why I want also to
be honest. Si hata watu wa Ruto wamekubali kwamba
wamevinyiliwa.
Let me just ask this question. And I would like to respond to what our viewers actually asked. That if BBI is not able to unite President Uhuru Kenyatta,
and it's a party initiative,
Raila and Ruto, then can it unite the Kenyans?
Yes.
That's a question that is being asked. In Kenya, we have a constitutionally elected government led by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy, William Samoei Ruto.
which one of your supporters, your godfathers, is refusing to accept?
No. And okay, the Honorable Raila Odinga the other day said in Bomas that the government of Kenya is led by President Uhuru and his deputy, and they are here. He said that. He did not say that he's led by the president and me. He said they are here, which was they were all seated.
Of course,
there.
he cannot say that.
Now, let me continue and say this: if Raila has reached out to the president and they are working on initiatives to unite the country, why should the deputy of the president say that I'm not part and parcel of that? Why should he be running away? And the president even complained and said the other day that I'm running a relay in which I'm supposed to hand over a baton. But the person who is actually supposed to receive the baton is running backwards. How will I hand over the baton? So it's actually...
Who was he talking about?
I don't know. The president just said that. Now, what I want to say is this. Is
that an admission of the fact that
no. Let me finish.
Even constitutionally.
Let me finish. Let
him finish this now.
Let me finish. Now, if the president, like for example, Daktari, I know you are a family man. You have a structure in your family in which you are leader of that family, and you have a wife and children. If I come and reach out to you, and we announce that Kizito's family and Daktari's family have actually embarked on a certain project as two family members. Why should your wife bolt out and say that no, I'm not part and parcel of that?
So I'm not saying Uhuru is married to Ruto.
No, I'm just giving an analogy.
If our two families,
let him finish, then we'll give him.
If our two families meet together, but it is not reason for me to disrespect my wife because we are meeting with another family. Let's have a family table, a neighborhood. It's like meeting in a neighborhood. Mimi sitadharau bibi yangu. I'm not saying Uhuru is married to Ruto.
But since he has brought the analogy, you want to ride on it.
It's a metaphor. Yes. Metaphorical.
Yes.
So I cannot, because I want to make peace with the family of Bitok, or Kizito's family.
Now you bring Kizito's wife to your house.
I bring Kizito's wife
to your house. And is that you want to build bridges in the neighborhood?
If you announce, doesn't make sense. If you announce that there has been some form of disagreements between Kizito and my family, and we've decided that as the leaders of these families, right, we are going to work together. Why should your number two, who is your wife in the house, bolt out and say that now I don't support that, and in fact,
it depends.
She operates outside.
It depends, Kizito. If I disrespect my own wife and appear to favor another person's wife,
these are two men. These are two men who decided to meet.
Now, listen. Let's bring this debate.
I think that analogy will backfire.
It's backfire.
So maybe
that analogy is wrong.
We rest the analogy.
Let's raise that question because even somebody here disagrees with us using that analogy. Honorable Jules, let's talk about the constitution.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring this debate analogy to the constitution.
And the question is, let me throw some spanner in the works. The question is, and that is what you guys are arguing about, the unity thing. What makes us actually believe that it's only the politicians who can unite this country? I saw Otiendo Molo's tweet yesterday, and he was saying that BBI is actually here to unite the country. That minus BBI, there's war. You know, and the question is, why do we seem to believe that it's only the politicians who can unite the country?
Exactly.
We are okay. Kenyans are okay between an election and another election. It's only when we need to have another election that's what Kenyans actually realize that kumbe hatukwangi tumependana. So the question is, should we be talking about the fundamental discussions on uniting Kenyans and not the political class? Because if we unite the pyramid down, then the other guys will behave as well. But we cannot talk about uniting the pyramid up, who cannot even unite themselves, and imagine that these guys are the other guys on the ground are going to be united. And I would want, there's something I want Kizito to do. I want you to break down the BBI report for us.
Exactly.
In pointers. Tell us that 1, 2, 3 are the gains of BBI. Then Aukot will tell us he agrees or disagrees with 1, 2, 3. I think that's the best way to move forward. Give us what you think you believe. If you have read the report, that is, give us the pointers on BBI that these are the wins for the country, and then maybe then we can have a discussion.
I can start by answering you this way. The only way to unite this country is the way Punguza Mizigo Kenya had made the proposal that we use the ward as the primary unit of accelerating development, so that in each and every ward of Kenya, everybody enjoys the same services in this country. Same services. If it is health, if it is security, if it is good roads, if it is water, if it is job opportunities. If it is enjoyed in each and every ward of Kenya, trust me, there will be automatic unity, because then me from say Todonyang in Turkana North and somebody in Lunga Lunga will see ourselves as belonging to Kenya in equal measure. Saizi, when you have politicians who are pro BBI saying 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling, you are actually saying the minority of people in Kenya today do not deserve. If today in Busia, and I'm happy Kizito is from Busia, if today in Busia County, the majority Luya said hakuna kiti zote hapa from governor to senator ni yetu because of numbers. These cases will be told, and then Uganda, because you are majority in Uganda across. Uganda.
So actually Kizito should be in Uganda now.
Kizito should be Ugandan. No, but Kizito is clear. But there's a fundamental question you raised before we run away from it. Away from the analogy of marriage, Uhuru and Ruto were elected on 1 ticket.
Yes.
And as the president, the deputy president is supposed to be his principal assistant. That's what the constitution says, by the way.
Yes.
Why is the president pushing away his own deputy and preferring somebody who has been claiming to be opposition to be his closest ally? You see, it is for me dishonest of President Uhuru. And I'm not holding Ruto's brief here, but whether we dislike Ruto or not, he's the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Anyway, that's a fact. Even trying to criminalize people who are seen with Ruto and the rest is so wrong. Why is it okay for Uhuru and Raila to be seen together, but it's not okay for Bitok to be seen with William Ruto? That kind of disunity is even disrespecting our own constitution. Because if we respect our own constitution and laws, you people came to us and said, mtuchague mimi president na my deputy president, tutawafanyia kazi. Hata walitudanganya, watapatia watoto wetu Jubilee laptop. Who lies to kids bana? Watapatia sijui watoto wetu laptop, sijui tutajengewa sijui stadium, hata wewe sijui unasikia Bitok ulipromiswa Kimarini. Stadium Kimarini. Unaona? So the same people, they lied to us together, we elected them. Now they are divided, and then we are saying actually the country is divided. No, let's be honest.
The politicians are divided.
The politicians are divided. The people of Kenya today, in fact, let me tell you, ukiangalia kwa mfano vile hii nini, COVID has impacted on Kenyans. It has actually united Kenyans. And there is somebody who is saying BBI has actually divided Kenyans more than united. Because it's already creating camps.
As you collect your thoughts, Kizito, because I'd want you to
tell us what are your proposals of BBI. I will counter them.
Right. So Kizito, as you gather your thoughts, because I think you need time to gather your thoughts, let me read out the comments a bit here. Some comments kidogo, and then Kirudi, so that we have a constructive discussion. Yeah. Let's have the pointers. Let's break down the BBI report, because Kenyans are here to be educated. Hiyo story nyingine ya nani? Kwanza amesema ati baba hakukuja na bibi yake, kwa nini anakuja kuongea mambo ya familia na ameacha bibi yake? David Silva said more than his thoughts on BBI. Ishara because of good morning to tackle. Ropi Preto and Kizito is saying that the main reason why Uhuru and Raila came up with BBI was for inclusion and that nobody will be left behind. Bidok asked Kizito why is it that farmers' interest on tea, coffee, etc. is not included in the document. Good question. So point that out. Emmanuel Omenga and some ask Aukot, how is there devolution when counties beg national government for funds? That is for you, Aukot. Danson Bito, can you ask Kizito to tell us in his own wisdom, BBI is uniting Kenyans and let him substantiate because it's clear that there isn't any uniting aspect in that BBI. Thank you. Quite really bring Aukot, Otiende, Dr. Ndi, and J. Mwangi of BBI to the panel. Very soon we are going to have a very hot panel. Hapa tutamalizana kabla signatures zikuje. Tutararua hapa hii discussion yote. Kila mtu afanye defense. Takuwa na upande mbili nitakuwa katikati na maji ya ndoo. Jaribu kuvuka huko mwingine na mwagia maji. Kimutai Atora anasema 80% of the BBI is all about policy and implementation. Most of it captured in the 2010 constitution. Those things can be completed in parliament. Why do we need BBI to increase 15% to the 5% revenue to our counties? If parliament can't make laws, then there was no need for parliament at the beginning. The main agenda for BBI is the big fish agenda, Uhuru, Raila, and protecting their status quo. James Bodasema asked Kizito to explain how BBI solves winner takes it all. There's another question by there, you need to tackle it. Koitalelo Lekodo and some contact details. We'll give you the numbers shortly, probably in the next 30 minutes. Kimutai Tosama throw away to that gender bill out the window. The Somali women don't like leading their men. Right. That is on watu I don't know kama ni watu huko. Jane Mumbi anasema huyu mlimtoa wapi? Kizito tulikutoa wapi Kizito? Kibi Chance anasema look debate the solutions rather than the problems. Kimtai vile anasema Kizito, if these two people are really genuine, why is this BBI thing Uhuru and Raila only who drives it? Where is the rest of Kenyans? Alfred Tai anasema General Kandi asked this guy Kizito the question DB asked, the president is won the way it is today. How will it have the face of unity in terms of representation? Evans Nyangano Sama Aukot as my mind make the words work so that even a cow become president and nobody cares. We need to devolve 70% of our resources and let things work in the world. Actually, you can actually devolve 100%. Mambo Angundi Sama, thank you, Daktari. Keep on educating them. Kim Tai Vinasam Bitok, the debate is imbalanced. Kizito can match a court. Asan Kenothia Sama, each time we bring new Katiba, we try. Asan Kenothia, each time we bring new Katiba, we try to water down the previous. We have never fully implemented any of the previous Katibas. Beauty Sama, morning long time, Mukopoa. Lakini asante sana Purity, umepotea. Ngozi Captain Sama, give this BBI man enough time to talk to drive his point. I'm going to give him right now 15 minutes to tell us about BBI. Paridato Mudhe anasema ready to vote. Hey, kuna kura tena. Unasema Aukot wewe ni kiongozi kamili, please ungana na timu kubwa ya DP na hii Kenya itakuwa fiti. Rumekaribisha huko. Andrew Jepsaigo anasema what became of CJ Maraga's court verdict? Why should someone who is not in government read Raila destroy a constitutionally elected government? Who is Raila? He was divided in a contested election. Huyu mzee ataharibu Kenya. Ono Jules Wever anasema the marriage analogy can't apply here, it's wrong. Benedict anasema Mr. Ekuru, you have a good idea. Why not coming clearly to Kenya and explain all these issues? Ama ni pesa au natuchange. Wasema tuangie pesa ukuje useme hii mambo. Kwa hiyo anasema look. Sikuwa kama ile Aukot Kenya, nasikia sio alienda wakaikulia.
Tulikuwa na pay bill last year and we accounted for every shilling. In fact, we posted every record.
They posted the account, yes.
Yeah,
the statement. Okay. Keep quiet will sema look mambo ya relay, I want you to know that you can't compete na mkale mambo ya mbio. And number 2, labda Ruta alijua hiyo kijiti ya relay inaletwa na mlevi kona wezi koja. Unafuzi jini. Julius Bitok, please tell Kizito that Raila came without his wife. Munga alitoka za morning enjoying the show from Coventry, United Kingdom. But what were UK? We love you guys. The UK guys. There's someone actually told me today that you did your PhD in their school in the UK. I'll tell you later. I don't have to tell you on mic. I'll tell you off air. DJ Mike Risu, it is great show, ladies and gentlemen. You are truly bold and informed in the current political, economical, and social affairs. Keep on trashing rock politicians. Thank you so much. Jeff Toshazama, we don't need a change of the constitution. We need a change of the leaders. Don't change the rules of the game. change the players. Rafael Kibichi anasema I agree, word can be used to spur development and bring unity. Jadiya Sokoma anasema before Kenyans are united, let nobody lie to you. It's only leaders that are united that are not united, and they aren't united simply because of their self-interest. Sultan Arith Thumbi anasema falling from Juja St. Amos College. Good morning guys, watching live from Kericho. Punguza mzigo is the way. David Kamau, Lucia kwa wapi leo? Lucia ameenda commercial break, atakuja Monday. Jemjor po anasema what are the 70 MPs for? Okay. Kagia Donya anasema Bito, good show, we need to support my friend Ekuru, punguza mzigo. Watu wanataka punguza mzigo sana. Ken anasema bring someone of equal brain with a court like Otiende, not average person like Kizito. You can want the Ekuru debate inshallah. Musifanye Kizito bwana. Kizito anajaribu kupanda kidogo. Maro Lenkija sema what does bibi assure Kenyans of peace? Watu ni wabaya. Unajua kuna jamaa alikuja jana alisema siku ni mrefu. Wakenya wamechoka bwana. Watu Kenya wako na stress. Maro Lenkija sema what does bibi assure Kenyans of peace after elections? By the way, you have a constitution. What is assurance, you know, that we'll have peace?
Just leadership bwana.
MC Kalia, chairman Menokwisha Kettle Dip, anasema jambo. Jimmy Pon anasema if they are collecting signatures to accept BBI, can we collect signatures to reject it too? Ekuru Ken Kipton anasema don't keep Kentan anasema Dr.Ekuru Aukot kudos. Bernard Mena anasema I hate myself for not electing Ekuru in 2017. Poleni sana. Wakenya tutalia tena after 5 years kusema kwani tupigia mwingine. Abraham anasema scheme on cancelling service kwa Italelo Kodo anasema let me just be clear and equivocal on the winner takes it all hypothesis in BBI. My presumption is that a country that believes in the doctrine of universal suffrage, where leaders are elected democratically on the ballot, it's clear the winning coalition will share the post. Will share the post in the we'll share the post in the BBI. How do you sort out the winner takes it all questions? Kindly make us understand. Watch a story mingi, my friend. Mzama wale wana win ndio wanatengeneza serikali. How does it solve the winner takes it all? Ebro Ndieke sana talk, it is not BBI that we need, it is rather patriotic leadership. That is Ndieke. Ebro Ndieke, asante sana. Kangaro mwenye BBI haiwezi make what we enjoy na sweetness for their sweeteners for their own interest. I hope you'll give us time to come. Yes, I'll give you guys an opportunity. Philemon B and we need only implementation of 2010 constitution. Isa kasi ingine tunajua ni ya kufanya unye premier. Ngozi kama I have never seen a contest without a winner and a loser. Victor Samoei anasema enjoying the show from Jubilee headquarters. Watu wa Jubilee headquarters asante sana. Bado yuko ama anasikia siku hizi ni chai tu mnakunywa huko. Victor Samoei anasema amazing show. James Okangoro today BBI is for Raila and Uhuru. Tomorrow is going to protect people like Ruto, the Kenyan cartels and politicians. I don't support BBI. I also don't support Ruto. Raila being president, politicians ni wale wa kila siku. It's all games. That is James Onyango Rodi. Jiki anasema I'm sure Kizito to be real with BBI and avoid seeking cheap political favors. Let's be real to each other. Because how can BBI achieve that 5% revenue to counties when we can't even achieve the 15% base in value of current constitution? All right, darudi kusoma comment. And Alex Ongero anasema I was personally supporting punguza mzigo and implement the punguza mzigo na tupitishe. Ezibar Moiben anasema good morning Bitok live wa Kenya wameongea as by the comments. Ni kubaya. Haya, Kizito, I hope you've collected your thoughts.
Yeah.
Twende kazi.
I've actually listened to what the viewers and the listeners are saying. And one of the things that we've been grappling with in this country that even makes, even what Dr. is saying that the current constitution is one of the best in the world. But what makes it hard for this constitution to tick and to help the citizenry of this country and the people actually to benefit and gain from its massive goodness that comes with it, it's because of leadership. So as long as we've sorted the leadership up there, whereby it's being sought to be, to be sorted by the BBI initiative, then you realize that, again, whatever we do, even if we stay with it for the next 100 years or the number of years that we want, where someone has said that leadership is all. So what I'm saying is, and what I want even Daktari to whatever, when he's responding back to to answer is, how do we sort out the leadership of this country? Just the leadership. Because everything, even Punguza Mizigo initiative, you'll find that for it to succeed and to make it something that is going to help the Kenyan Mwananchi down there, the grassroots level, that representation, the amount of resources that were supposed to go to the wards were actually to be implemented and actually streamlined by the leaderships. So how do we sort out this issue of leadership? That is what BBI is actually trying to address. But The only thing is what people are seeing that the BBI initiative, they're only seeing it in the face of the president probably and Raila. Let's put these guys away and just assume they are not there. Does it solve the same problem? That is what we should be looking at.
And what is the problem with the leadership today, Kizito, that you want to sort?
The representation.
What about representation?
Whereby, and this is being addressed, the issue of every time we are going to election, I'm always looking at Ekuru Aukot. If he becomes the president, that definitely he's going to take it all and make the country not to be very representative.
How?
That is what
And
Kizito,
Kizito, there's something I want you. I requested you to do something. I want you to break down the BBI report, some sections. When you talk about inclusion, tell us how it's going to be inclusive. Let's talk about divisive elections. Tell us how it's going to work. Let's talk about the tax break. Tell us efficiency. Let's talk about devolution, development money. What is the procedure? Break it down.
Tell us, what is BBI?
I think he knows what BBI is.
No.
So let me go. Let me go back about resources.
I think Kizito, let's not run away from this question because this is a pertinent issue. We talk. Otherwise, I will not come to your show again to talk about BBI. Afadhali nikuje tuongee about COVID. Because this BBI thing is occupied the countries for months and
Hata wenyewe wameshinda kwa hiyo. Kizito, nataka unibreke down.
Tuambie, Jules anauliza, what is BBI? Anasema wacha story mingi, my friend. What is BBI?
Building Bridges Initiative.
Yes.
Break it down for us.
Break it down for us.
In which every citizen and everyone in this country feels represented, feels part and parcel of this country. That is all that we want. From the leadership all the way to the distribution.
And that's what I'm saying now in that BBI report.
So
Can you maybe I need those things. I need the pointers.
More pointed question. Are you saying, Kizito, today that Kenyans are not represented in leadership? Are you saying that?
They are represented, but the issue is, as they are represented, is it curing and making us achieve the development we are supposed to achieve at the rate at which we are supposed to achieve?
So, Bitok, let me give a counter proposal.
Okay.
BBI proponents like Kizito, it's clear Kizito has not even read his own report, his own BBI report. It's very clear. But I won't blame him because it's actually a very nonsensical report even to read. When you start reading it, actually you get nauseated. Because some of the things when I say, we should be proud of our skin color. When did I ever doubt being black? I mean, what's the problem with my color? We must trace where our ancestors came from, find out the reasons why they migrated there and came to Kenya. Surely, what is constitutional about that? Give people when we amend this constitution, we will give help loans to students. Another rubbish. We give people tax holidays. Another rubbish. But to the question of representation, now let me compare what BBI is saying or not saying and what Punguza Mizigo is saying in terms of representation. BBI is lying to Kenyans that let's amend the constitution and create a representation at the national level that will unite Kenyans. That's a lie. It's a lie because currently Kenya is well represented in all the 47 counties, in all the 1450 wards, in the national government, in terms of ministers, whatever, Kenya is represented. In terms of MPs, we have got 416 members of parliament, both National Assembly and Senate. What Kenyans are saying, and this is what BBI is not saying, that Kenya is actually overrepresented. And Kenyans are now doubting the value of representation, Kizito. And if you read Punguza Mizigo proposal, we actually did a comparative analysis with about just 3 countries. And let me explain to Kizito why we are overrepresented. The United States of America, one of the oldest democracies in the world, has 350 million people. It only has 530 representatives for both House of Reps and Congress. And Senate, House of Congress and Senate. Meaning, in the United States, one person actually represents about 625,000 people. We also compared one of the other oldest democracies, India. A population of 1.3 billion people, it only has 800 representatives in both houses, House of Representatives and House of Congress, Senate. Meaning in India, one person represents about 1.6 million, I think 1.6 million individuals. Okay? We go to China and we deliberately pick China because we are borrowing a lot of money from them, and soon they will own this country if we are not very careful.
They're also borrowing the single party rule.
Yes, 1.4 billion people with only 1,200 representatives. Meaning, again, almost one person in China represents about 1.6 million people. So come to Kenya, a population of 47 million. And it's a country that is struggling with basics like education. Even at independence, they say to us, we will eradicate poverty, disease, and ignorance. That never came to pass. So those are our priorities. But looks like now we are placing more priority on representation. And to Kizito, that representation has not even cushioned the people of Kenya from a national debt. Today, our national debt, Kizito, is going to about 6 trillion Kenya shillings. Meaning, hata saizi ukiwa na mimba in Kenya, hiyo ni deni.
So kushika mimba is a risk affair.
Mtoto akizaliwa anazaliwa na deni. Almost each one of us.
Sisa ni tena siku hizi ni deni.
Ni deni. Each one of us owes about 120,000 or thereabouts, 100 Kenya shillings. Now, how has our many representatives, how have they actually cushioned us from those debt, which is even undermining the development you talk of, Kizito? Because this representation you keep on telling Kenyans, which is a lie, is not equating itself to development. And by the way, we did an experiment. When we were promoting Punguza Mizigo, Kiambu had bought the idea, because they are majority, they are about 2 million people, they cannot be equated with the people of Lamu, who are about 400K. And we told them, okay, fine. Let's explain this representation in terms of how the leadership is cushioning us from certain burden. We picked the national debt at about 6 trillion. We say, okay, proportionately, let's apportion each and every Kenyan this debt. Because hii ni mzigo lazima utabeba kama Mkenya. Yeah? You as a parent, me as a parent, mtoto wangu anadaiwa, mimi nadaiwa, my grandmother anadaiwa, baba yangu alidaiwa before he died, nini kila kitu. So, if we apportion, so the people of Kiambu with your 2 million, you owe to somebody about 16 billion Kenya shillings. If you are from Lamu at 400K people, at about 200, you owe something like about 5 billion people. So, how has the many MPs in Kiambu cushioned the people of Kiambu, the 2 million of them, and how the three MPs in Lamu cushioned the people of Lamu from this national debt? Because that national debt is undermining development that Kizito is talking about. It's undermining education, it's undermining health, it's undermining road infrastructure, it's undermining food security, it's undermining everything. When the VAT Act of last year was passed in Parliament, it imposed VAT on basic commodities. Basic commodities. Mafuta ya taa. Imagine that villagers use powdered milk, sujui nini, basic things. So Kizito, and I want you to answer, BBI is pushing for this so-called representation through unity, and therefore to bring development.
Mimi naona historia ya BBI ni kama imekwama. So tuangalie magazeti alafu tukirudi. Ama bado kuna maneno ya BBI.
And I think let's kubali tu. BBI is saying increase representation. Somebody is asking here, who said we want 70 MPs? For what?
And they are not elected, they are appointed. They are nominated.
Who said we want 47 more senators? Kwani hao ambao wako saizi wameshindwa na kazi? You know, that's the question we should be asking ourselves, Kizito. You know, Senate has met several times. Right now, counties are actually begging for money. Why are counties begging for money? Because the current leadership in Kenya is disrespecting the constitution. And let me answer the question that somebody asked me. I mean, why are counties begging for money? Counties are begging for money because we have got a government that is not respecting the constitution. It is saying it must allocate money. Kizito, explain to me this. Counties of Kenya are getting at least 15%. That's the language in the constitution. At least, meaning nothing stops the president and this government to even give 80% to the counties of Kenya. Nothing stops. Because the language in the constitution is very clear, at least. Today, why are counties begging for money? And why are we keeping 85% of national revenue at the national level? What is the national? You know? So Kizito, tukubali pia. Kama if it's not, there's nothing wrong, by the way, Bitok, generating an idea. There's nothing wrong. But also, if the idea is pathetic and awful and fails, let's also accept it has failed. Sindio?
All right.
Ni kama you are driving your car and it breaks down on you on the highway, si unaita mechanic akutengezea gari ndio uendelee na safari. Huwezi kuinsist I want to drive a car that is actually has broken down. BBI has broken down. You know, it's broken down.
Ndio kama gazeti tukirudi tunaanza kuchukua simu, ni kama you're going to pick your call. Tuache tukimbia gazeti kwanza kidogo kwa sababu sasa ni kama hapa kuna shida kidogo. So when we come back mtakuja kuchukua simu, utaweza kupiga simu, nambari ni 0779 800 au 779 800 au 779 800 utaweza kupiga simu. Bunge la mwenyenchi iko wazi, lakini wacha nikimbia kwa magazeti kidogo, alafu tukirudi tunajua itakuwa vipi. The Standard newspaper, the Standard, start with the Standard newspaper. Acha nikimbia kidogo niwaletee gazeti pia hapo. Let me see. Alright. Haya, gazeti ya The Standard. The gazeti ya The Standard inasema why reggae stopped. Inasema get the president tuanza pale mambo ya Uganda. Baadaye mambo kunaenda pale Uganda, Museveni ameleta shida. Get the president brings out the ugly beast in Museveni. Elections in Uganda, on Ugandan elections. I don't know what's going on. Gazeti pia ya hiyo ati ya Standard inakuanga na visanga. Alright, elections. Uganda on the edge as the region's longest serving strongman deploys soldiers to crack down on citizens protesting the arrest of Bobi Wine, the youthful politician leading campaign for change. Why reggae stopped? What next? All eyes on the big three politicians as speculations grows on the future of BBI after referendum exercise was postponed amid reports of pressure from the clergy and disagreement on the pace and scope of changes. All right. Naona pia kuna hapo kuna viongozi hapa. Murkomen anasema congratulate President Kenyatta for postponing the BBI signatures launch against all odds, provide room for consensus. Rafiki Ekuru Paul Mwangi anasema ignore narratives on how signatures launch delay was caused on the signatures long delay was caused by search for consensus. Sounds like political exciting news, but simply not true. Dennis Wawiru anasema the two leaders will communicate. Two leaders, and you want to unite five. Two leaders will communicate to us when they are ready to receive the bill and unveil it. The most important thing is that we are ready. Junaid Mohammed, Rafiki yangu tumamwita Junaid Mohammed, we've invited you for the show. You promised to come for the last 3 weeks. You have not shown up, so I want to call you officially. Tafadhali kuja. Some they dispensed with the printing last night, and we should be taking the next practical steps sometime soon, and most likely next week. Pale chini sport billionaires in a vicious god battle. Wrong bet. Wrong bet. For years, they were known as the dynamic duo of the betting world, raking in millions of shillings by the minute as gambling became a national pastime. Now they are placing wagers against each other in corridors of justice over money and reputation. Interesting country we live in. Aura of COVID, sick doctors on forced duty. By the way, I've been receiving a lot of inboxes on the doctors, the issues of doctors. I'll start looking at them. Going bust, Kenya 675 billion debt suspension. Hey. The government is broke and needs a 75.5 billion debt relief. Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ekuru Aukot now says Nairobi is willing to take an offer to defer repayment of a portion of its debt. The problem, that will put the country's credit rating at risk of a downgrade. All right. This Kenya we live in. Mystery of meetings that froze BBI push. The motive of the last-minute cancellation on Wednesday evening of signature collections to back constitutional reforms was unclear yesterday, even as it emerged that the draft bill had not yet been submitted to the government printer, contradicting the Building Bridges Initiative team statement that the draft bill was taken for printing 2 days ago. Haya, kuna hapo pia mambo ya confession. Doctors who test positive for coronavirus but are asymptomatic are being forced to keep reporting to work, exposing hundreds of thousands of Kenyans who visit hospital daily to serious risk of infection. Baona picha pale ya mambo ya Uganda, 7 dead in Uganda as Museveni and Bobi Wine flex political muscle. Supporters of Ugandan musician turned politician Robert Kyagulanyi, also known as Bobi Wine, protest against the arrest of Kyagulanyi during his presidential rally in Kampala on Wednesday. Kampala Police Commander Moses Kavero says Kyagulanyi had been arrested for violating coronavirus control measures. Kyagulanyi in mambo ya Uganda. Kyagulanyi. Bora umesikia Bobi Visit virus thing. 5 MCS dead in 1 month. Very sad. Dozens of members of the executive are indisposed and several dead, forcing closure of county assemblies and disruption of service delivery. Samuel Karanja Mbugwa, London Ward, Unumuta Mpota John Juguna, Elsgate Ward, wenye alipoteza na COVID-19. Peter Chomba, Uruma Ward, Wasingishu. Kennedy Maiyenya, Kiamokama Ward Kisii, Mohamed Atin nominated Mombasa. Hao ni watu ambao tumeweza kupoteza kwa sababu ya COVID-19. Gazeti ya The People Daily wanaanza intrigues in BBI signature delay. Divided opinions. That is The People Daily. Divided opinions on the cancellation. Divided opinion. Whereas the president's men blame logistical issues for cancellation of the event, Ali says his deputy claimed the move was prompted by a meeting between the two. Interesting time to live in. The standard is working on a new date with a comprehensive program of rollout activities which will be communicated in due course. Apple Mwangi narratives that the BS was launched was soundly politically setting news in I think my summer pale. Otiendo Matsama, the idea of launch of collection signatures is not a legal or constitutional requirement. It is merely a political statement. Caleb Kositany, there is an urgent need to review the report. This process has serious implications on the future of this country. Caleb Kositany, karibu on Tuesday. Karibu tackle next on Tuesday. Kuja tuambie ni nini mnakanyagia na BBI pale. Anyway guys, that is it in the newspaper headlines. Sitaki kuingia ndani sana kwa sababu ya wakati. I'll start with you, Aukot. I know you've picked a few things, especially on coronavirus. Then we'll go to our friend Kizito. Yeah. Doctors are being forced to work.
You see, it's a tragedy that actually all over the world, by the way, one of the biggest debates in combating COVID-19. See, BBI. So, one of the biggest debates in the world about combating COVID-19 is how we take care of our frontline soldiers, doctors and nurses. And the basic requirement is that we must provide them with protective gear, the PPEs, for example. And also, to be able to enable doctors manage this pandemic, a country must be able to, for example, test en masse, people en masse, so that even doctors are then able to manage the pandemic. Right now, it's almost difficult. In fact, I'm so scared of hospitals, and so many people are, because hospitals now are actually the number one spreader of this COVID.
Wacha niko disrupt kidogo Ekuru, tuchukue simu.